to The Pod Has Spoken. Episode 7 was a doozy. I am here with my forever co-host, my rock. He shall never leave. I always can trust that he will be here through thick and thin, any family event. Riley McAtee. Riley, again, my world is held together by you. Nothing in shambles. And I hope it always stays that way. What's up?
What's up, dude? This is my last episode, last week on the pod.
Wait,
Yeah.
where are you going?
I'm having a baby soon.
Dude, congrats, but
Leave starts after this week.
listen,
You're going to have to take the wheel without me. I know it'll be tough. I know.
well, I have some questions then for our guest, Davie Rickenbacker, star of Survivor David versus Goliath.
Yes.
Riley's one of Riley's favorites.
Oh, cool, man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
A full 10 seasons ago, we are back with Survivor 47. I was from Survivor 37. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Davie, I have a quick question for you. Let's say
Yes.
you had a baby and then what? You don't have a computer or internet or a TV to watch Survivor? Is that how? I've had 2 kids. That never happened to me. I don't know what goes on in Riley's household that like all of a sudden the computer shuts down.
I don't know, man. I guess this is maybe his paternity leave. So I guess, he kind of has to opt out.
Listen,
Look, I want to be very present for the new child we're
you're
bringing
going to be
into the
watching
world.
more TV than you've ever watched, Riley.
No,
More
I-
TV than you've ever watched.
All right. We'll see. I don't know though. I think it's going to be a little more like hands-on, maybe some physical books and stuff. I don't know about how much TV though.
Disconnecting. Okay. Well,
Hoping to.
And when will you be back?
I'm coming back in January, so it'll be after this season of Survivor ends, but I'll be back for 48.
Nice.
Okay. Good thing I knew this was coming, and we secured Ashleigh as our forever co-host in your leave of absence.
I'm the not forever co-host. Ashleigh is the forever co-host. That means Ashleigh's never allowed to have children or go on leave though, or go on vacation or do anything.
I
It's
mean,
rough for life.
she was able to go on vacation earlier this year, and we were very happy for her. I think she needed some time away for all the work she does.
Absolutely.
So much deserved.
And I recall once that you missed some of this show too. So I think we're all squared up now.
I don't know if I don't remember that. Let's get into the episode. Davie.
Yeah.
Andy and Genevieve coming together. You like that? You think that's smart for both of them?
I like that a lot, man. They really focused on Andy's character a lot this episode.
Yeah.
And I love that he has the wherewithal to know, even after Saul told him that Sam was the one that threw his name out there, you don't see anywhere in the episode that he goes to Sam. And I love that. Because usually, and I don't even know if I would have been smart enough, but usually if you have a quote unquote ally and you hear something from a foe, you go straight to that ally after you heard to fact check it. And he did not do that. And I'm so happy that he didn't. So yeah, man, I'm feeling the Andy and Genevieve vibe real quick.
Are you the Joker for Halloween? Is that what
yes,
you are
yes.
here?
I
But you don't have
am
the face paint
Jared.
on yet.
No, well, I have the I have the smile.
Oh,
but I don't,
right
I don't
there.
have
That's
the- I don't-
easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm doing it light for today. Tomorrow's
Okay.
Halloween, so yeah. We'll do
Yeah,
the
it's hard
face
to get that makeup on both days
paint. Right.
because you got to clean it off and everything. Okay,
Mhm.
so you think Andy should have abandoned Sam there? Like that's the play?
I don't know if I'd use the word abandon. I just think that he needs to be very aware of how he speaks to Sam moving forward. Sam and Sierra moving forward. Try to keep them. What's the saying? Keep your friends close and enemies closer. Well,
Yep.
You can flip it around either which way right now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it either. I think it was, anytime you hear your name as the decoy after the fact, if it's
Yeah.
before the fact and people are like, hey, your name's floating around and you're like chill enough to let it
Yeah.
happen, which
Yeah.
I wouldn't, but some people are just like, yeah, use it. But after the fact, like it's too late. Like the
Yeah.
people you trusted that knew, that didn't say anything to you, that is, that's a level of, that's lying.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree.
And Genevieve lost her closest ally in Rome. Did you like Rome? Is Rome going to be back for 50?
You know what? I would love to watch Rome again on my screens. He was chaotic. He was fun. He was, I guess I can call him smart until he wasn't.
Okay.
But yeah, you know what? I watch Survivor. A lot of people watch Survivor for their winner picks and their strategy, but I watch Survivor for the characters. I love new characters. I love people like the coaches and the Tysons, and sometimes they go and they win. So when a character can win, that's what I really like.
Thank you. We didn't pay him to say that. He said that of his own free will. Davie, I'm here for the same thing. Like, you get a wackadoo in there, put 20 wackadoos in there. That's my dream season. My dream season is full chaos, full emotion, almost zero strategy. And that's what I want to see. All Girls Alliance. Is it happening?
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm so naive to the fact that I really thought they were laying down some steam on that. And then it just blows up at Tribal Council. Oh my gosh, they couldn't even get an episode in between. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Okay. I didn't think it was going to happen either. I also thought, like, what a crazy misdirect for the entire episode where they built up to a little bit of something, then the challenge happens and it all goes to shit. Like the whole episode wasn't even the same after they revealed how this is going to happen. Did you like this like mix up in the challenge with the like split it up 6 and 6 winning group gets food and is immune and doesn't vote. Winner of the losers is immune but has to go to tribal and vote, and one of those goes home.
You know what? I don't hate it, but I hate it now. Like, when you get to the merge, like, let them merge a little bit. Let them deal with that. If you want to play with that a little later in the merge or before the merge, do those doohickeys then. Like, don't let the merge be the merge, Jeff. Please, can we just go back to what the merge was?
It is tricky.
I wanted to see Andy a little bit too. I'm with you, Davie, because it's like they were setting up Andy to have like a total, like some chaos, some scheming, and then he's just completely sidelined this episode. So we gotta wait till next week.
Yeah. They gave us a lot of Andy, and I was like, I noticed that too, Davie. Like, first half of the episode was mostly Andy talking about how he's woken up and he needs to jump ship and move away from Gata. And he's pulls Saul in, but Saul was the one who put his name down last time. So he's like kind of strong armed Saul into being like, if things go exactly how you tell me they're going to go the next 3 or 4 votes, we're a lock. And I kind of like all of that. And then I like the whole Genevieve Andy conversation. And then all of a sudden, and Andy's big vision for how the game will go, which I was expecting more. Like when you tell someone, I have a big vision for how the game will go, and you're like, how? And he goes, a big sneak attack. You're like, that's the most generic bullshit I've ever heard. I thought you had a real plan. You tell me you have a vision for how the game will go, and you don't? That wasn't a vision. That was just like a generic Survivor saying, kind of.
Yeah, it was just a good saying. They wanted to keep that in there, but maybe they're foreshadowing what happens next episode.
A big sneak attack. We got a big sneak attack from production in that from that moment.
Yeah,
the entire episode pivoted because of this, and I agree. Like, you get to the merge, you're like, okay, a little breathing room. Time for me to maneuver a little bit. There's 12 people. I got to find my place. And then you're back into a small tribe.
All that work. What was it in for? What's the TikTok sound? All that work. And what did it get me? That was that.
Well, do you like how this broke up? I at least was like, fortunately, this broke in an interesting way.
Yeah. You know what? It did break in an interesting way that made for an interesting tribal. You know what? And I don't know if if she didn't get the Houdini, if she would have been the one that was in danger. I kind of still wanted to see, how that would have played out.
Yeah.
But the fact that they broke those tribes up like that was really just perfect.
Yeah, it was. So we had the entire Tuku tribe plus Rachel, and then we had 3 Gata and 3 Lavo, 3
Lavo.
Lavo members. And I like that it broke up that way, and I kept thinking like this could have broke up in such a less interesting way that the episode wouldn't have been as great as it was. And it's like it's interesting to me. Could it have been? Because production knows what they're doing when they're creating this show and they're creating entertainment for us. Are they that positive in this moment that it's just going to split up great no matter what, that they're going to be able to flip it all into a story? Like, what's the worst tribe break that could, or group break that could have happened? We won't call them tribes. They're 6 and 6. Like, what would have been the most boring rock draw out of that randomized?
I think actually you could make the case the most boring one is what happened. And then if Rachel doesn't get the safety without power and they just vote her out, like even for all of the like, oh, should we vote Tuku so we're not picked off 5-5? I think they were maybe just going to vote her out and it was going to leave a bad taste in your mouth and just be kind of like, oh, she just sort of got screwed by this twist and it's over.
Yeah, kind of. But that would have also built to like a future battle of then everyone recognizing, hopefully, the foreshadowing that Tuku is the target because they're the largest solid group. Yeah. So I think if it would have played out that way, it would have built into a future blockbuster episode, which, and that gave us something. I'm just trying to think of like, is there a breakup scenario in this or a group split where there's almost nothing to work with, or is production like set either way to create a story? Because we have 4. No, we have 4. Yeah, we have 4 Gata, 5 Tuku, and
but they're
3
the Gata
Lavo.
are about to fall apart.
Yeah. So
if the Gatas have been the ones going to, like, imagine if all 4 of them,
that would have been great.
We're on a team, and then they go to tribal council. That would have been great because they've been like, all right, we're Gata strong. As all of them like hold a knife behind their backs.
Yeah. I guess if you have 2 Gata there, no matter what, unless it's Sam and Sierra, they're probably targeting each other, which is always fun. So I guess there's lots of options. There's lots more options for entertainment than there probably were for like just a disappointment in the strategy based on the way the group broke up.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was worried because Rome isn't there anymore, and Rome was kind of carrying the entertainment for me, but I was entertained.
So who's the new entertainment now?
Right. I want Andy to be the new entertainment,
That's what
but then
I want.
But then we got to the middle of the episode and didn't see any more of him. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. Next week, I think we'll start to see him emerge more. I think that was like we get a little build up there. I mean, he's got a vision for a big sneak attack.
It's coming.
It's coming. We get this group. So for me, like, here's what I thought they should have done. I don't mind, like, sure, I want the merge to be the merge. Like, give people some breathing room, give people some time to self-destruct, let Andy like spin circles and, whatever he's going to do. They should have had Kyle, the winner, get to eat and then go back to the losers.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like
I just realized that.
Part of winning his immunity on the losing side would be like, okay, you get to have food with them, but you're still part of the losing group and you have to go participate at tribal council and have some input on who gets voted out.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Like, because then it puts him in the middle a little bit and he knows some stuff. Then he could have, with Saul, they could have been like, okay, you found this advantage, give it to Kyle, who will deliver it to who you want to. Okay. With the message you want to have delivered, type of thing. Mm-hmm. Then there's even more levels of strategy. Like you have to send a messenger. Kyle's the messenger. So yeah, I don't know. I think that they're just so divided here when it's the merge and so separate, and you're like totally left out of whatever gameplay is happening, and there's no connection to both sides. It's just just like two separate tribes.
Yeah. And it's like, haven't we been doing, well, we haven't been doing two separate tribes the whole time, but haven't we been doing tribes the whole time? Like the thing that we love about the merge is that it's merged. It's one big tribe. You get to see these players interact that we didn't get to see interact before. And now you're splitting them up. We still get to see different interactions, but the whole point of the merge is we get to see them all interact together. And I miss that.
Yeah, I agree. And, I mean, we're going to get it, but do you like these, there was so much to this episode of having to think on your feet in the moment all the time, like whatever plan you had out the window, because you either have the split, you have the advantage, you have whatever's happening. Is this good for the game? Is it good for TV? Is it fun as a player?
Survivor is a lot like Mario Party, where you know,
we've always said that.
Oh, really?
We've always said that.
Yes. It's like you will get the most random things to happen, and they could be entertaining, and then you'll get the most random dice draw, and it's not. So I would say for this episode, the latter part worked with the Houdini, but the former part, not so much, with them splitting the tribes. So, you know what? I just wish that they would stick to a status quo here, and we could just let Survivor, you know, be the magical show that it is.
Yeah. I think the Survivor is part of the test of Survivor is getting people to adapt, be adaptable, adjust, pivot when they need to. And this forces you to do that. But it gets tricky when there's so much. And then, you know, you have to rely on luck. You have to rely on the bonus stars when they show up at the end of the game, you know. Speaking Mario Party over here. Yep. I always win those bonus stars against my kids.
Same.
You have kids?
No kids, but I always win the bonus stars.
Good. Yeah. Good. It sounds like you and I would be quite the force to reckon with.
Hell yeah.
So let's go to the losers group first here. They go back to Lavo camp and they start scheming. It's Rachel on the outs with Tuku. I did like this. Kind of everybody was thinking the same thing, but everybody had kind of a different hope for the outcome, whether it was misdirecting Rachel so that she didn't play her shot in the dark, or actually pulling Rachel in to take out one of the Tuku. And both of the selling points were to not have Tuku be 5 strong. So Gabe was peddling that, but he was lying. And Tiana was peddling that, but to me, it seemed like she was being real. Would Tiana have voted out Gabe there?
I don't know, man. I think Tiana was trying to really play it safe, because when those tears started welling up at Tribal, you could kind of see it really was the fact that she wanted to stay strong with that tribe. Yeah, I think she would have got rid of Rachel. I mean, even though, like, in the beginning of the episode, they were really pitching that women's alliance, that would have been, that's what I thought would have happened in a perfect way that they pitched it. But I think she's way more loyal to her original tribe, which sucks for her because they weren't for her.
I think Tiana was going to vote out Gabe until she talked with Caroline, and Caroline wasn't down.
Yeah.
Who was right there with Caroline and Tiana? Because they both had really great points. I thought Tiana was like, we can't go in Tuku strong all the way because it's too powerful, and then we'll be the minority of the two combined groups on the other side. Caroline was like, that's correct, but we're not the targets here. We will be the ones left over, and then we'll be fending for ourselves and be in a good position.
I think I would probably be on the side of Tiana, honestly, because Gabe does seem like he's going to have a nice run towards the end of this game. Now, that's not to say that Rachel doesn't have something up her sleeve, but right now, and Caroline doesn't know this, but right now, Rachel's kind of at the bottom of her original tribe, and she's hasn't really made a lot of connections with this merged tribe because Jeff won't let them have a merged tribe. So I think I probably would have went with Tiana on that one and gone for Gabe.
Riley?
Yeah, I kind of feel like Caroline has a bit of the wrong read. Because I was super impressed with like the way Caroline managed the conversation with Tiana, where she was like, let's just be, we can brainstorm openly here. We don't have to like dance around this. And I was like, man, Caroline is like a real player. I haven't recognized this.
Yeah.
But then I think, she kind of had like a bit of the wrong read. And I think that it was ultimately her decision to get Tiana out instead of Gabe at Tribal, because Kyle was wanted to defend Tiana, and I think that Caroline was like, nope, that's where I'm voting, and so then Kyle had to, and that's why I think it became a 4-1 vote. But I agree with Tiana that Gabe is not trustworthy, so I think Tiana had the right read and Caroline the wrong one.
Yeah, that Gabe is not trustworthy.
Yeah.
But,
and so it would have been, I think Caroline's correct that they'll be the leftovers. That's so. Okay,
and is that
Caroline,
a better position for Caroline and Tiana to be in? That's the question.
I just like, do you keep people you don't trust? Like, I would trust. It's so hard to say watching the show versus being on the island, but it seems to me like Rachel is a bit more trustworthy than Gabe. So, but I do think she's right that Gabe is a more obvious target for people who want to get rid of Tuku's.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now you're talking me out of it.
I mean, I think that it was the right read by. I think they were correct. They were right. Both people were right, but also like who's it play out for better. And that's why it's an individual game. You have to put yourself in other people's shoes. I'm looking at Caroline and she's thinking, let's show our allegiance to our former tribe, Gata or Tuku. And that's great. And that's going to be fine going in. We're going to be seen as the strong majority that's unwavering. And we may be the targets at that point in general, but not us.
Yeah.
And then Gabe goes. And then, and Gabe even said, if we're seen as the threats, then I will be one of the first to be gone from this group. Yep. And so I think that was a right read. I think those two could have maneuvered either way and been okay for a run or open the game up for them. I think there's probably some people there that, I don't think that Gabe staying strong with the whole group there was good for him. So I agree with that. Kyle probably not either. And Kyle, I think, recognized that as well.
You know what? I think you've talked me into it because I think that I think that then at Tribal, if she had said, let's get out Gabe, it would have been seen more as her move and probably put a target on her versus getting out Tiana. Gabe is probably, and Kyle as well, probably the main targets on Tuku still. So you know what? Gold star for Caroline. I think she played it correctly now.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what? That makes me think, and Survivors, we always have to bring it back to our own seasons.
Yes.
So it makes me think, I wonder if having a theme for your season builds a stronger bond for you with those original tribes than just having a random draw for your original tribes. And I say that because I guess I was in a similar predicament where I could have let the game go a certain way and I would have been safe if I didn't play my idol for Christian. And then I could have just figured out a way to make myself safe or throw some monkey wrenches into the game. But I felt smarter playing it for Christian so that we weren't picked off one by one. Whereas Carolyn and was pitching to Tiana that, we could go ahead and just do that and be the leftovers. I didn't want to be the leftovers, but she was open to it. And I wonder if themes have a lot to do with the whether, our bonds are stronger and how we play the game in the game.
Did you being a fellow David make that bond stronger, do you think?
For sure. And I don't know if it was the fact that our theme was unique as in Goliaths or Davids. I don't know if it was like a beauty bronze type thing, if it would have had the same impact because, Goliaths were looked to be, the big and bad guys. And we were looked to be the heroes, so to say.
The underdog heroes.
Yeah, the underdog heroes. So.
are there people that take offense to what tribe they're on? Like, were you like, no, I am a Goliath in my own right, and you guys, like, I didn't want to be a David here, even though my name's Davie. Like, I am a modern Goliath. Like,
right. There were people that took offense to being a Goliath. They didn't want to sit in it. They didn't want to sit in the fact that we might be a little better off systematically. But once Jeff broke it down and broke down their character, they were like, okay, you have a freaking point. But no. As far as being a David, I love
everybody wanted to be a David.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I often think like brains versus beauty versus brawn, and you're like maybe not that strong, but they put you on the brawn tribe, and you're like,
wait a sec,
I'm not even strong, and this is where they put me, which means I'm definitely not beauty or brain,
right?
Or you're like, I'm not particularly intelligent, but they put me on the brain tribe. That means I'm ugly and I'm weak and I'm not particularly smart, which I know, which maybe makes me a little smarter. Like, I don't know. I think that's it.
What about you on the villains tribe too? Or was you just like, that's a survivor villain? It doesn't matter.
When you looked at the heroes tribe and you realized like they're not players over there, you were like, okay, I see how it's broken up. It's the schemers versus the people who, based on the optics of the fans, would go a different route just so that they didn't look smarmy.
Okay, so you weren't insulted at all. You weren't like Parvati, like, why am I a villain?
I don't think Parv wasn't insulted.
She wasn't.
Nobody was insulted.
She was just playing the bit.
Yeah, everybody was playing it. Like, nobody was insulted over there that they were on the villains tribe. Okay. But I think had you built a different heroes tribe, then now maybe. Okay. Like had you put like more schemy masterminds on the hero tribe too, then you would have been like, wait a second, how come I'm a villain then and they're a hero,
Yeah.
So, but the way it shook out, where it's like the heroes were like Rupert and Colby, and
you were like, they're a bunch of squares. I don't want to be one of them anyways.
Nobody over there could get the game going for themselves, even if they tried.
Yeah.
So, it could have been definitely more offensive had they put like Brian, whatever his face, on the heroes tribe. What Brian, the winner of the most evil winner of all time? What's his name?
Heidick or
Brian Heidick. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If they had put Brian Heidick on the hero tribe for like who knows what reason, when they came up with something, then you would have been like, hold up now.
Yeah.
That's when you would have been like, no, this doesn't make sense. I should be a hero.
Okay, so this is a good theme season, brain, brawn, beauty, but we kind of put people that are like, not super confident about that attribute
they get
of themselves.
Mad.
So like, wait a second.
Yes, we redo that season. Brain versus beauty versus brawn, or blue collar versus no collar versus white collar, and mix them up just enough that the people in those situations don't have the confidence or to even accept the fact that they are that, and they get offended by it.
The maximum like insulting tribe season. We'll do a little more brainstorming, but I think we're onto something.
I love that. I love that idea. Where it's just like, you could even do like wackadoos versus masterminds versus like versus
backstabbers versus something. Yeah.
Versus like neutrals or under the radars. That's what it is. Wackadoos versus masterminds versus under the radars. And then you just like place people on the wrong group a little bit, but they could waffle somewhere in between. And you're just like,
yes,
I'm not that. I'm a mastermind. I'm not a wackadoo. Yeah.
I'd watch
That's
it.
the one. You'd watch it? Yeah. Let's build it. Sure. Let's build it. That's okay. That's season 50. Wackadoos versus masterminds versus under the radars, but misplace a couple people.
Yeah.
See if that changes how they play. Like, would that change how they played? Like, if you were like,
oh yeah,
okay, Banu, you're on the masterminds tribe. Would he change? Would he play differently based on that fact alone?
I don't know, man. No, I think you really do play into whatever your theme is thematically. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of even coach you in the confessionals. Like, Davie, if you, they wanted me to make all of these zombie references because I'm supposed to be a nerd. And I'm into zombie movies, but I'm like not that into them to where I'm going to be making references. But you kind of just fall yourself into it, man. And you really just have to play up the theme. So yeah, for sure they would play up. Manu would for sure.
Would it make him a better player or a worse player or a more wacky player?
I think it would make him more interesting for sure.
Yeah. I like that. I think that is the new social experiment of Survivor is see if you can.
We're putting Rome on like the Wackadoo tribe,
or under
and he's
the radar
gonna be like,
tribe.
I'm such a mastermind. Like this,
or put him on the under the radar tribe, where he's like, I was under the radar.
I don't think he'd believe that one. They'd be like, okay, wait a second. There's no way I was under the radar.
Okay, fine. But yeah, put someone that has a big notable move on under the radar tribe, and they're like, you don't remember my move, like Sierra. Put Sierra Moret, who voted out her mom, and that's like what they talk about all day, every day. Put her on the underdog or on the under the radar tribe. She'd probably accept it and be like, yeah, I am under the radar. But someone like that would be like, no, I had a big move.
Yeah,
man,
perfect.
I love this. I think let's dig back, look at people. And because this just came off of our heads right in this moment, I don't have all the names that need to be on that. But I am going to think about it, and we're going to have names at some point for this new this new season of Survivor. So I liked that at the losers that everyone recognized, this big group of 5 is a problem for people, or can be, especially if we look like we're cohesive. And the whole time as I'm watching it all bounce, I do think it really truly came down to Caroline. It was her decision to make.
Yeah.
Is there anything you could do to stop this, Davie? Because I look so often at these people in the middle who get to decide. Why can't we just vote the person in the middle out, come to collectively together and be like, yo, Davie, you and I, we're at odds with each other. We have a group of couple people on each of our sides. There's one person out, and we know that they're going back and forth, but neither of us know which direction they're really going to go. Why don't we just get rid of them? Can we shake hands and agree and get rid of the person in the middle? Because it's an uncertain evening for probably both parties to a certain degree. Would that ever work?
I mean, I don't think it would work because you have to give that person in the middle a little credit, because is it even visible to the other two sides that she is in the middle if she's playing both sides? So I got to give Caroline a little bit of credit there.
I mean, Tiana was like, we have one. We need to talk to Caroline.
Oh, that's true.
I think they both were like, we need to go talk to Caroline. So I think they do recognize that, but I don't know that they recognize that the other side also recognizes it, which is the trick. But I would love, because there is a certain amount of hubris that comes with being the person in the middle and being able to make that decision. Like it goes to people's heads, not in a negative way, but like when you recognize that you're the one calling the shot on the evening, like it would just be good to see that person from an entertainment standpoint, see that person get got when they thought that they were the deciding factor. And it has happened. People will get on here. They're going to, write in the comments on our YouTube channel or whatever and be like, actually on episode 9 of season so-and-so was the person in the middle. You're like, okay, that does happen sometimes, but why can't it happen more? And it is tricky. I think you're right. I think that not everybody recognizes who the person in the middle is. And maybe calling attention to it gives them even more power. Because now both sides are like, oh yeah, everyone said that they're the one in the middle. Now we really have to fight for that person's allegiance. Let's go to the feast.
Okay, so they took
barbecue
them all.
feast. Winners.
Okay, so the winners. Was that supposed to be the merge feast, but only for them? No,
I don't know. They ate last week.
Ate last week. That's right. Well, yeah. I mean, that was.
I mean, this new era, they're just like seemingly eating every week.
Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be a little. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be tougher than ever. But hey, no, I liked watching that. I liked watching. That's when I thought Andy was gonna get his second picking up of steam for the episode when he was searching.
Yes.
Until I heard the music, and I was like, they're not playing the music where he's gonna find something. But good on Saul being the one that was able to find that find that advantage there and disrupt the game on the other side a little bit. I hope that he's able or smart enough player to use that to his advantage the correct way when he finally gets to tell Rachel or not tell Rachel that he was the one that helped her out. That might help him push himself a little further in the game.
Yeah. Well, then let's talk about that. So everyone at the feast is talking about like, there should be another advantage out. There should be one. There should be one.
Mm-hmm.
People kind of looking around, but not really. Saul sees it, takes it for himself. He plays it. Can you go to Rachel as the person who didn't find it and be like, I gave this to you. That was me.
You mean could someone other than Saul do that?
Yeah.
That's a good play there.
Is it? I don't know that it is because she might fact check. Maybe
excuse me. As a viewer, I'm saying that's a good play to watch to see it explode. If more than one person are coming to her and saying that, she won't know what to do.
Yeah. Here's what you do. If you're Sam, Sierra, and maybe even Andy, you all band together. You're like, was it you? Was it you? Was it you? Oh. Sierra and Sam, at least. Sierra and Sam. Was that you? No. Was that you? No. Okay. So let's go to Rachel. Tell her it was us together, that one of us found it and we together gave it to her. Mm-hmm. And then, worst case scenario, we're going to find out who really gave it to her. And honestly, in that moment, if Sam and Sierra are the ones that like admit it and can maybe admit it first, Saul might actually look like the liar in that situation.
Well, Saul can prove it though, right?
Oh, he can prove it.
Does he get to keep the piece of paper?
No, but he can say you had the choice. Like, I know it was me and I can prove it because I know that you had the choice between safety without power or the block a vote.
Right.
And knowing that piece of information proves that it was him. No, as long as he doesn't tell anyone else.
Yeah, as long as nobody knows that those are the options, which I thought about too. I was like, they could fact check it back with the two options because she only did say, she was like, I'm going to do this. Safety without power. That's how she can.
So like if Sam came and was like, hey, it was me, she would say, okay, well, what was the other advantage that I had the option of taking? And he'd be like, if you got me.
If you get an advantage that you have to pass along and you're the recipient of that advantage, keep some of the information of what you've received private as much as you can so that you can then fact check it. It's just like Survivor is just like layer upon layer upon layer of just like playing, keeping your cards close, but knowing you reveal stuff. And I think this is a moment like, I would love it. I would love Sam and Sierra to go back to camp, opening a next episode. Rachel, we gave that to you.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see.
Whether or not it works. Did Saul make the right move here? Was Rachel the play, Davie?
Let's see. Saul's original tribe has how many people left?
Lavo, there's 4.
There's 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him, Teeny, who else is there from Lavo? Genevieve. Him, Teeny, Genevieve, and
Saul? Wait, sorry.
Yeah. Saul, Teeny, Genevieve. No, the original Lavo.
Oh, yeah, it's those 3.
Oh, it's those 3. Okay. Yeah, it's those 3. Gata has 4. So it's those 3. Saul has Teeny and Genevieve, who I don't know if he has either of them locked in. He feels good with Teeny. Genevieve, I think he's okay with, but I don't think that they're like ride or dies by any stretch.
No, I think he did kind of make the better move playing that for Rachel, because you see at the beginning of the episode how it was a bit of a blunder on him being the only one playing the vote on Andy, and then him and Andy kind of coming into cahoots now. I think this is a good way for Saul to kind of get some agency in the game. We're at the merge now, so now it's time to think about how you can go about winning. It's not just about surviving. It's about making the moves and making the relationships so you can make it to the end and get those votes. And I think that, having those little small trinkets there. Rachel, I played this for you. Andy, I played it for Rachel so that we can bring Rachel into our alliance to help push us to the end. I think that's a good way to kind of build your resume, so to speak.
I want to talk about Saul's thought process here, potential thought process, what we think could happen. Because for me, I'm looking at Saul's decision. I'm like, choose the leader on Gata to give it to. And that way you have more power when that person on Tuku. Sorry, I'm going to get this wrong the whole time. Blue. Choose the leader on blue. That way when they come back and you're like, I don't know who the leader is, Kyle or Gabe. Gabe, maybe. Then if you have more leverage, like if you choose the person on the bottom and they're still kind of on the bottom, but then you got them, I think that's someone, if you're on the very top rung or near the top, giving someone on the bottom some crumbs is definitely a great play. But Saul, who's like not really, it's not really known where his position is in the game currently. He doesn't feel like he's on the top. Get someone on the top. Get them on the top, and then, then they're A, a shield, and B, hopefully have some more information in the game to give you. I feel like even if it's a throwaway advantage from the outside, it curries favor with someone more powerful than Rachel.
That's a good point.
But doesn't he kind of need to give it to somebody who feels that they need that lifeline and will feel to some extent indebted to him? Because it's like if he gives it to Gabe, if he gives it to like a Gabe, is Gabe just kind of like,
no,
hey,
Gabe's immediately. The confession we would have gotten from Gabe is like, thank God, because I didn't know for certain how things were going to go. And now I know that it's not me. And then you come back and Saul comes back to him. He's like, yo, Gabe, I gave that to you. I don't know if you really needed it or not, but I gave it to you to show you that I wasn't willing to give it to Rachel to throw a wrench into whatever thing you had going on. I wanted us to work together.
That's a good way to sell it.
Yeah. Like, I think initially I thought, this is great. It's great. It's good for TV. It's good entertainment. Is it best for Saul to give it to Rachel? To be determined. Obviously, the game always moves differently than what we can predict here. People's minds work differently. Strategy, emotion, all of that comes into play. And it's a balance between a lot of different variables. So who knows? But I think
I think we might be getting a little bit of like all the sort of like misfit toys and people on the bottom are kind of coming together. It's Saul and Andy at the beginning of this episode. Maybe it'll be Rachel and Saul and Andy. And then, they'll have like Genevieve in there who also had a good moment with Andy. And suddenly like that group could be on the top.
Davie, did Saul make the right choice?
I think I'm gonna stick with that answer, man. I think he made the right choice because, it's like he's picking up people as they come to try to build up his own alliance. And I really think that thing with him and Andy might be something that pushes them to the end. And you can bring Rachel into that and you can have some options. I think he made the right move.
Okay. So moving forward, Saul, Rachel, Andy with Saul,
Genevieve.
Are Andy and Genevieve, are Andy and Rachel going to be able to work together with Saul in the middle?
That's true, because
they do not like each other.
Yeah, but in the oh my gosh, yes, I totally forgot about that. Well, I don't know. He's gonna have to figure it out because everyone from his original tribe is at odds with him secretly now. So he's gonna. That's what makes good players. If you can bring an ally back in, then you'll be good.
And that's still not the majority,
right? Oh no.
So who does Saul need? Who can he get?
Doesn't Tim and Teeny have a pretty good relationship?
Yes.
Even though Teeny's really pushing the all girls thing, but the all girls thing just blew up. So I'm sure.
And they're
sure
a realist. Like,
yeah.
Teeny's looking at it and like, okay, we can do it, but it's probably not going to happen. But my dream is for it to happen. But like, I think Rachel going right there frees Teeny's mind from the hope of an all girls alliance, maybe.
Yeah.
So that might actually be in Teeny's benefit. So yeah, I could see Teeny going with that group, the Saul group.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. What is Rachel's play going back to camp now? Like, is she just sitting back waiting for someone to approach her and tell her? Is she kind of like, I feel like she could use it as leverage to have a conversation with everybody.
She could if she played her cards right. Yeah.
Everyone come to me one by one and let me know what you think of the advantage and if you know anything about it. And that's the way it goes.
You just kind of wait for that person to make themselves known to you, right?
Wait. That's why Sam and Sierra got to get there and be like, Rachel, let's talk. Rachel, come on with us immediately. It was us. It was us. It was us. Saul saw us. Saul saw us a little bit. If he has the clue still and can show Rachel that, then he's
gonna have the information about the other choice she had.
Yeah, he will. Is there anything before pre-tribal council we want to touch on before we get to it?
Okay, I can't believe that you just zoomed by the pickleball reference.
Oh yeah,
on this episode.
About that.
we got that was before the challenge. Even
I was going to rewind that because I didn't. Who brought up pickleball?
I think it was Sierra.
Sam?
It was a little bit like off screen. I thought it was Sierra saying to Sue that she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you don't play pickleball."
Yeah, like
which
you're
I took
old.
to be yes. So this is why I wanted to bring it up.
Sue played exactly like a 45-year-old would have.
Yeah,
and
it's not her demographic. That's for the 50-somethings
playing pickleball. Never. I play racquetball. It's a much faster, more athletic game for a younger person, such as myself and someone like Saul. Me and Saul, same age. Like I thought, I didn't think she brought it up, but I wasn't sure because I kind of had my head down taking notes. I did notice that reference, the pickleball reference. And then there was just a regular pickle reference, and the title of the episode was the pickle saying, but that had nothing to do with pickleball, right? I don't think so either. So yeah, I did get that pickleball reference and I saw it and I was like, finally, pickleball has made the mainstream. My prediction.
But not in like a great way. It was like, whoa, hold on. I don't play pickleball.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're still waiting. We're waiting for pickleball to be like celebrated on Survivor, not merely referenced.
Yeah. I don't know if that time will ever come, but my prediction now, since it was on Survivor, by the year 2025, professional pickleball will be watched by more people than that watch the Tour de France, the World Cup, and the Super Bowl combined. As prophesied by the governing body of pickleball. As prophesied by the governing body of pickleball.
Okay. All right. In 2 months.
You got to keep them interested. You just toot that horn. So yeah, pickleball. Anything else pre-tribal we need to get to? What about the Gabe making the face after he hugged Rachel at the camera? That's like the third or 14. He did it earlier in the season.
Like Jim Halpert?
The Jim Halpert, like,
oh, wow.
To the camera. That. Yeah, it's been happening a lot.
Oh, wow.
Do you like that? Do you like that fourth wall, that breach of fourth wall just for a second?
You know what? I do like the breach of fourth wall. And it reminds me of a funny story of my first few days on the island. Like when I was walking around out there, the cameraman will follow you. And I was just narrating. I was just like, I'm walking through here, shoveling through some leaves and stuff. And one of the cameramen stopped me. He was like, Davie, you don't have to do that. We're gonna, we're gonna get it together. So I do appreciate the fourth wall break now because that's how I went into Survivor playing.
Yeah, I like to make the camera guys laugh. I know that my job is done if I can get them to have to cut because their camera's shaking. Yeah, and I also like to make them a little uncomfortable, like walk straight towards them, like you're going to just walk straight into the camera. Like that's a fun move too. But making a face at the camera is like the new thing. I like it too. I think that those guys are present the whole time.
Yeah.
And we know they're present. When you're there, you know they're present. You always are aware of them to a certain degree. And so I think that like this is a fun little like acknowledgement to the fact that they are there.
Yeah.
So I do like that. And I feel like that's the whole reason they put it in the office in the first place, was to show us that this is actually a supposed documentary being made of this office. So I like that. I think it's fun. Next season, are we going to get every contestant doing this 5,000 times though? Is it just like, I hope one of my faces made it. I did it 48 times in a day, just hoping it gets in the edit once.
Yes, 100%. This is the new beckoning for the CO award, where they try not to kill the chickens. Now everyone's just going to be trying to get their face in the camera.
Yeah, just like, ooh, I'm hugging you, but I don't mean it. Like, yeah. I like it. And I think that we should see more of it in the future. I want to. But if you're a Survivor future player, just do it when it's the most entertaining. Like, don't do it every time. Just when it's really going to be like the icing on the cake.
Right.
Tribal Council. I paused the episode when Tribal Council started, and I was like, I think we're in for a hell of a Tribal Council, because we got 20 minutes left of the episode.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, for a minute there, I was nervous watching. I was like, are they going to cliffhanger us like they do with the challenge?
Yeah.
But no, of course, they'd never do that on Survivor.
They'd never do it. Have they done it on Survivor? I feel like they maybe have once or twice.
Really?
Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
Like cut to commercial in Tribal?
No, like not revealed who got voted out until the next episode.
No, I don't think, because there was like in 41 they had like no Tribal Council for like the like hourglass twist or whatever, but it wasn't like they were at Tribal Council.
Yeah,
and then
I think that's what I'm
No.
remembering.
Yeah,
and
no,
everybody was mad because Survivor ends in Tribal Council.
Yes.
we need
Yeah.
blood every episode. I
Right.
think.
Yeah, you have to feel someone's pain.
Yeah.
And let's go to Tribal Council. We get this full runaround of everyone like skirting, like, are we jumping ship as the 5 group, or are we sticking together? And Rachel hoping, but whatever. And none of that mattered.
None of it mattered.
Did you like that misdirect where like it was a full Tribal Council? Full Tribal Council. That did not matter.
No, I did, because we got to see the fright in their faces when they realized it didn't matter. And that was good visually to see happen in real time.
And you also got to see like there are lines drawn, however murky they may be at Tribal Council. Like people expose things unbeknownst or even like purposely. And so like as a game player, like I would like a lot of fake Tribal Councils to like get some reads or hear what some people are saying, or hear even what my allies are saying and how they're phrasing things, because learning how your allies play and how they're going to spin, spin their story to mix and match and be confusing for everybody is also part of the game. But in the end, it didn't matter because as time to vote is announced, Jeff, time to vote. Rachel pulls out this scroll, drops the bomb on everybody, says she is leaving safety without power. Right play for her or still a vote?
No, that's the right play.
Oh, she had the option.
She had the option.
Using either or. Oh,
yes.
Okay. Oh, Yeah, definitely right play with her.
Really?
I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm running too.
Yeah.
But I think if you can muster the steal the right person's vote there, you might have a chance.
I thought it was block a vote. So I don't know if she gets
it's
an
block.
extra
it's
vote.
block
I
a
think
vote,
it was just stopping somebody. So then she still basically needs
two people.
two other people.
Okay. Okay. A steal a vote might have changed
Changes the
things up a
math
little
a
bit.
little
Yeah. Because
bit,
if it changed the math like that, like a steal a vote, I think would have made her really think and debate. And maybe we would have even gotten confessionals of her like really having a hard time choosing, because stealing a vote
I feel like she
really
has the
powerful.
easiest, because like the safety without power too, like the dilemma is sort of that, you leave everybody twisting in the wind. Like you just, you leave your alliance and they're like, hey, what the hell, man? We need your vote. And she's got like the easiest use of this ever, because she's just like, look, I was the only Gata on this half tribe or whatever.
Eat each other.
Maybe things were going to go okay for me, but I didn't know. I'm just going to, live to fight another day.
Yeah. Is Saul a good actor here as she plays it?
He's sitting in the front.
Right. No, I saw some of those close-ups, and maybe it's just because I knew that he was the one, but it didn't look like great acting.
Yeah, it's the same. It's like you're watching Survivor. I'm watching Survivor as a viewer, and I'm like, that lie was crap. But they don't know. Like, you can't tell like all the time.
Right.
You're like, in the moment, you're like,
maybe there's
is he
a bad
overacting, or is
truth teller?
Is this how he reacts to stuff? I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems weird, but maybe he's weird for a different reason right now. Like you can't. It's so hard to be certain of these things, and you're like, he was overacting, but everybody else seemed like they were overacting because they were in true shock too. So now, who is what? Like, you have to be like, whoa. That's why I react to nothing ever. There's a pictures and video of everyone losing their shit when Jeff announces that Winners at War is a $2 million prize.
You're just chilling.
I'm just chilling. Everyone else is like jumping, shitting their pants, doing all that. I might have unfolded my arms or just kept them like, I don't even remember. I remember that I was like, I expected it to be like something more than just regular.
Yeah, right.
But everybody else, like, I just don't have those feelings like that, I guess.
What was the better acting, Saul in this episode or Rome last episode when he voted for Sam?
Yeah. What? Who voted for Sam? I think Saul's was a little more under the radar.
Yeah.
Rome's was really over the top there, which is hilarious. If he really thinks it's Sam and he votes Sam and he's like, what? That's hilarious. That's just like rubbing salt in the wound. Like that's a perfect play to get like your enemy out is that overacting, like, oopsies. The kind of like the Steve Urkel. Did I do that?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I did. So Saul, work on it a little bit, but I think that you're going to be okay. I don't think people were perceptive enough, and even still, like, there's always doubt with like, maybe he just liked that part so much. Mm-hmm. Who knows? So now we go to the second tribal council, and I'm like, for a second, they're all just sitting there. She leaves, Rachel leaves, says thank you to the jury, whoever did that, thank you. And I was like, now it has to be a live tribal council, right?
Yeah.
But nobody was standing up initially, and I was like, let's just make them vote right now. That would be crazy.
That would have been great. That's what I thought was going to happen.
No time. Go vote.
Yeah, right? Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine Davie getting up there and being like, what was the plan before Rachel? Can I trust everyone to remember that was the plan, or to know that was the plan? Or did we get enough hints? Because Gabe was like, everyone's got to wind the clock back to when we were just Tuku and do that same thing that we were going to do when we had plans to do something when there were only 5 of us there anyways.
Yeah, at that point, if they would have went straight to the vote, you got to just blurt it out on your way up there. Like, if I'm Gabe, I'm like, Tiana's the vote.
As you're writing it down.
Yeah.
Everyone please vote Tiana. Man, would it have been more entertaining to force them just to vote straight off there?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
I like it as there's a potential twist idea here where it's like, if everybody doesn't do something, you all get like sequestered, and there's no scramble before.
Ooh,
I don't know. We're gonna have to brainstorm this one too.
Me too.
If you can't,
it's like you're gonna get to like an immunity challenge. Jeff is gonna be like, I need 5 people to sit out, otherwise there will be no. You will all go to separate beaches before tribal council, and there'll be no discussion. But they probably, I don't know. Then they'll just do a live tribal or something. They'll figure out a way to.
No, there's not even that. You go and vote.
You cast your vote privately.
Right there. Right there privately.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you safer with the time to scramble or with your shot at immunity? Something like that. So, I don't know. But yeah, this would have been kind of fun if they just made them all vote without the discussion.
Because what you could do, you could do that like at a challenge and be like, hey, this needs to happen. And if it doesn't happen, if we can't get this many people to do this, then we're going to enact a crazy twist that's never been done before.
Oh, we don't tell them what it is.
Don't tell them what it is. And then we're like, okay. And then you go one by one and they all vote one by one in this. They have the thing set up at the challenge. But then they're like, at the end, he's like, okay, everybody voted without any discussion about who's going home next. It'll be revealed at tribal council tonight. So then you can still go run a tribal council, do the whole thing, but be like, the vote already happened. Let's read it out. This is us getting real crazy.
Yeah,
we're getting real crazy over here.
We're almost like not allowing them to play Survivor with this twist, which I think is like kind of the flaw in it. But we can keep workshopping it.
Yeah, I think it's fun once in a while to throw stuff in. I'm not a fan of live tribal council.
Okay.
I think it's very chaotic and weird in the moment. I've been in one before, and it's like annoying, and it's like have your ducks in a row before you get here, kind of. And it also like, I think when there's the ability to have a live tribal council or the tribal councils are live, it forces everyone to wait even later in the day to come up with a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, let's just do like 5 minutes before tribal council. We'll iron down the plan and then go live if we have to, so I don't love them as a viewer. Also, it's like too confusing. Like I don't get to see the game play out. Like why Tiana? What was everyone's thinking behind Tiana?
Yeah.
Caroline, why did you choose Tiana? I didn't get to see any of that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the live tribals either. I think I've only actually it was this episode of our season that we had our only live tribal, and I did not like it. And as a viewer, it's gotten better. There used to be just the whispers without the captions. At least they have the captions now.
Yeah. But not all the captions.
100%.
But not all the captions.
They're leaving stuff out still.
Yeah. So, I'd really rather not. And in like the early old era, like you couldn't get up. That was a rule, right?
Stay seated.
Yeah.
Stay seated.
So, take us back there, man.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. Because for me, I'm imagining there are probably some viewers who like the mystery and like the guessing of the whole thing. Like it's part of it is that. But for me, I like to have God's view of the entire, like I like to see that and how people react. I'd rather like have a pretty good idea it's Tiana because of how I saw the conversations pan out, or whatever. So I probably viewers to each their own. That's a personal thing for me. And also like I've been in them and didn't really like them either because they're clicky and they're like, everybody's like, eh. And you're like, can I poke my head in here? And they're like, no. And you're like, okay, that's cool. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Not for me. But live tribal goes live. Gabe goes to Sue and's like, you and me and Carolyn don't break no matter what.
Yep.
And So I liked that. But then Sue, and Sue goes to Gabe and Sue. And it is between Gabe and Tiana, as Sue is like running back and forth, and you have the girls going over there and talking, and I thought it was an interesting moment where Kyle went to Caroline and was like, Gabe's the bigger hit. And Tiana is straight with us every time. Like, she isn't lying to us. She doesn't try to. So sure, that's a misdirect on the episode, but what happened there that we didn't see, that was the reason Tiana got voted out? If that was Gabe to Caroline, was Caroline just like, no, absolutely not, it's got to be Tiana this time?
I think so. I think that Caroline was like basically the decider between the two different sides.
And why did she choose Tiana?
I don't know. Well, I think we'll find out next episode, which isn't I'd like to kind of know, but
yeah. I mean, her brain's not even equipped to handle that right now.
I mean, I think it's
crazy.
probably...
She was like short-circuiting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably the inroads that Gabe made way earlier in the game. Didn't he like share with her that he found an advantage or something? So she probably feels a little more allegiance to him than Tiana, who hasn't found anything.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, that was a long time ago, but... Yeah.
She got something going with Sue too. Remember, like she knows about Sue's idol and was like, I got you, girl. And Sue's super close with Gabe.
Yeah.
So
I think Sue and Caroline are together. And because Sue's also with Gabe, Caroline's like, okay, that's fine, us three. So time to vote. Sue also goes to the jury. He's like, good job, whoever did that. On her way to vote. I'm sure she's just trying to curry favor with whoever over there. And Tiana's gone. She is devastated. Do you like these?
She was weeping.
Rawness and realness. Do you like this?
I love Survivor when they don't hug it out. I hate when they make it the Big Brother exits where everyone's hugging, and oh my gosh, I love the rawness. I don't know if you can get any better than what's her name that just went home, that was like the visceral reaction. I don't know if you can get better than her, but yeah, I'm glad we got to see some tears.
Annika, was it Annika?
Yeah, Annika, that's it. Yeah,
Annika was really good. I thought for a second there, it looked like Tiana was going to say something to Caroline, and not all the votes were read. Usually, if not all the votes are read, it means that the other vote is also for the person who went home, so it doesn't matter. But I thought, is Survivor purposely keeping a vote for Gabe in the pocket just to mistrust?
I don't know if they've ever done that. I think
haven't,
it's always...
but it would blow your minds. Like, you would go back and be like, okay, who, like, then I mean, it would be
that
less
would get
mistrust,
almost
I guess.
That would get almost toward like them interfering with the game in a way, because they could like protect who, put a vote on the person, somebody who's not going home or whatnot. Yeah. Like, I think that they like have to read them the way that it is, because then everybody knows where, who all the votes were for.
It does promote gameplay actually this way. You're right. Because if you're getting 2 votes, Gabe, then you're like, what happened? So.
Yeah, like imagine last episode if they had like not read the Andy votes because they wanted to protect like Saul or whatever, right? Yeah. It would have they would have been basically like meddling in the game. They need to be like, you put these votes on
or
them,
not
and now you're
meddling in the game for the when they've always done the same thing. Yeah, I agree. You're right. I'm wrong. Again, I can admit, it takes a really big man to admit when he's wrong.
Ashleigh, let's cut this clip for the social.
It takes a really big man to admit when he is wrong. Right, Davie?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I like the rawness and realness, but this was sad. Tiana was almost too sad for me. I was like, I like there to be emotion and desire to win and extreme disappointment when you lose. but I don't also want to feel sad for you. I want to be like, yeah, that's real. It was too sad.
I think it hurt more because she didn't make the jury. What is this? You're making the merge and you're not making the jury. Like, oh my gosh, you just taking it in front of their faces, Jeff. Come on, man.
But also, I don't want to be on the jury.
Davie, did it mean a lot to you to make the jury? Was that like a big milestone?
Yeah, if I wasn't getting voted out. But that was back when Survivor would feature the jury members. Now they just montage them. But I really packed the best wardrobe that I could possibly, just in case I did make the jury. And I really am glad that since I made the jury, I was able to showcase that. So yeah.
Okay. That is true. You get to be part of every episode a little bit, and you do get to showcase your sense of style. Mm-hmm. But then you also have to vote for, a lot of times, someone you don't particularly enjoy to win the game.
Sure.
Which I would rather just not be a part of.
Yeah.
So,
I think that that's a very hot take, though, Tyson. I feel like most people are like, they want to have that impact on the game.
I remember, and I think I've said this probably very recently, where I got voted out of Token Chains and I was pretty bugged. And somebody on production was like, but you made the jury. That's like, and I was like, I don't give a shit, dude. Like halfway, like, why is that so like, what? Yeah. Stop patting me on the back for mediocrity.
Right.
Sure.
So I kind of was like offended that they were like, you made the jury. And I was like, I don't care, dude. Like, I didn't win. Now I got to vote for some asshole to win this whole thing. And they make you vote. You can't not vote there.
Right.
So yeah.
Not you can't just like draw a big middle finger on the parchment. You tried that one?
I should have. They'd probably be like, Tyson wrote a middle finger. He has to vote again. At least that would bring me a little joy.
Yeah.
So, not for me. Anything else before we get to Riley's segment here? Anything jump out from the episode? Favorite moment? Anything extra hilarious?
No, man, I'm just loving the foreshadowing that Andy has something hilarious coming.
Yes, that's honestly, that's what I'm looking forward to most is his vision. His vision. I can't wait to see his vision play out. And we get teased up on next time on Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's coming.
Something's coming.
Yeah.
Riley, what do we got? What predictions do we need to make?
Not too much. I was going to ask what you all think Andy's plan will be, besides sneak attack more specifically, and whether it will work or not.
I don't think he has a plan. I think the sneak attack was the plan. He was like, I have a vision. And Genevieve was like, what? And he's like, to get them all good. Like, how? And he's like, I don't know. Just to get them. Let's get them. And you're like, but how? And he's like, what's your idea? That's what I think that's what's coming, is like, that's the idea, is to get them. And that's all that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think Andy's going to surprise us and continue to build stronger bonds with those inroads he's made with Saul and Genevieve. I think he's got something up his sleeve, man. He's going to figure something out.
Why was he seemingly so forgiving of Saul, but unwilling to forgive Sam and Sierra? Maybe
because I think he's known Saul for like a day, and it was just Saul was like, "Hey, man, I had to go with." Whatever, but they don't have like that connection. Whereas like with Sam, it's like, it's a betrayal, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I just thought that was interesting where he was like,
yeah, for sure.
Saul, you just wrote my name down. We're together now. He's like, yep, we are. Always have been. We always have been.
Yeah, sure.
It was very quick. It was a very quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Okay. Riley, what do you think is going to happen? What's Andy going to do here? Is he going to surprise us with a genius mastermind plan? Is he going to do something that doesn't matter, that ends up working out for him anyways? Or is he going to or is he going to George Costanza himself again?
I think he's going to George Costanza himself again for sure. Yeah. You already got in trouble for looking for a clue at the feast too, and Saul somehow didn't. But I think he'll probably try to go for Sam primarily, and it will get back to Sam, and then chaos will ensue.
Okay, that's fun. That's what we like.
Yeah, that is fun.
Yeah.
Let's do winner picks.
Ooh.
So winner picks are trivial to me. Like I told you, I always watch the show more for the characters. But if I have to do one, I am really kind of rooting for either Genevieve or Rachel to pull something out of their hat. I'm a little biased with Rachel because she said, I met her and she said in casting, she told casting that she was if Davie and Sophie had a baby.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm a little biased for her, but
she's your baby.
Yes. So we'll see.
Okay. I don't dislike either of those. I think Genevieve and Rachel both have real chances at winning this thing. I am going to go with, because I keep trying to ride or die with somebody and then I keep not ride or dying. I keep switching it up.
It's been happening to me this season.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Caroline.
Okay.
I think she's finally like, this is the decision I'm going. She's choosing a direction for herself. She got to choose the direction. And this could be the build to her being like, at the merge, I took control of every direction I needed to get where I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can see that. Yeah, I could see it.
I'm gonna stick with Genevieve, who I had last episode. I've been like flip-flopping all around this season, but this week I pick and stick.
I like Genevieve, but Davie, she is Canadian and she's the only Canadian on the season. And if we as Americans have a Canadian, a 1 in 18 shot of a Canadian winning, will Canada just rub that in our faces for time and all eternity?
For sure, because wouldn't that be the majority of the winners in the new era? No, well, not the majority, but a few.
A lot. Yeah, Marianne,
Erica.
Is it just those two?
Maybe.
It's just those two,
but still, they're not. They're always the minorities.
It's a lot of Canadians.
Yeah.
Well, this is a good reason to pick her, I think. Though the track record is incredible.
The track record is incredible.
But
she's the only Canadian this season, which is bad for us. If there's ever a time for the country to all come together in the next handful of weeks and dictate a direction that is good for the benefit of everyone.
Yeah.
This
Take
is
out
it.
Canada. Okay. All right. Who's going home next week?
Let's see. I think that the writing might be on the wall for what is the name of the tribe that was at Tribal?
Tuku.
Yeah. I think that they were going about it the right way and realizing that they would be a threat if it was the 5 of them. But I don't think that losing Rachel or losing Tiana rather takes that bullseye off of them. I think that it's still the same situation and one of those 4 are going to be targeted.
Yeah, I do agree with you that getting rid of Tiana did not take their threat level down as much as they needed it to go down. But I also think the discord amongst the existing Gada might be enough to have them go to Tuku, like Andy or Sam or Sierra or Rachel could all go to Tuku and be like, we got to chop Tuku like that, or we got to chop Gata. And I could see that. I think Lavo is going to be fine. I think Genevieve, Teeny, and Saul, they're all fine. They're sitting fine. And honestly, going back to my winner pick, I mean, it's very often that the smallest tribe going into the merge ends up winning.
Yeah.
So, and all of those 3 are very well positioned to actually perhaps win the game.
True.
So I am going to go with, and I think Tuku's going to win out over Gata here. I think what's going to happen is Tuku can go back and say, it was always Tiana, Rachel. Like, we weren't going to vote you out. We were going to do Tiana. You were going to be safe. Like, maybe if there was conversations like that happening before, they can maybe keep Rachel on their side a little bit and then pull Andy in and go Sierra or Sam, or pull in Sam and Sierra and get rid of Andy. It just depends on how much George Costanza-ing Andy does next episode. But I'm going to say Sam.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to say Kyle, actually. I have sort of the opposite
challenge threat.
Well, that's the main reason is I think that the first time he loses a challenge, it's just going to be like, we have to get this dude out. And it will still be, Tuku and Gata deadlocked in numbers, even though we got all the Andy of it all and everything. Maybe the Andy's master plan has to wait one more week, because if there's an opportunity to get Kyle, I think they just have to do it.
Yeah. I don't hate that either. I kind of thought so too. He might be unassuming enough though that he's okay for a little bit longer, because he's not also like really openly masterminding anything. So they might be like, he's okay for like a couple more, but it could easily be him. So, okay, time will tell. What else we got, Riley?
That's it. That's everything.
Okay. Thank you all for listening. Tribe has spoken we are on YouTube, we are on Spotify, we're everywhere where podcasts are played, and more. The
Ringer Reality TV feed on YouTube. That's what you look for.
Probably.
Well, that's what you look for if you want to find us.
Probably. It's actually it is what you look for, and also on Spotify everywhere. But if you're listening to this and haven't found us, I don't know how you're even listening to this. So
good point.
We're really advertising to the wrong crowd here. Please listen to us. If you got this far and listened to this whole thing, you already do. Thank you all for your time. Davie, such a pleasure finally catching up with you.
Yes, thank you.
And have fun and be safe this Halloween. Sure. Riley, I guess this is goodbye. Have a nice life, man.
Yep. I'll see you next year.
He'll see us next year.
We'll be back.
Will you text, or are we?
I'll text. I'll let you know when we have the new addition to the family. I'll send you a text.
Good. Yeah. Keep us updated so I can update everyone here listening. That's good to know. That was a test to see if we were just like work guys or true friends.
You're gonna find out when the baby is born. It's coming anytime. We're ready.
Very exciting. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it's always good to remember that a lot of worse people have had babies, so you're going to be totally fine.
Yeah. That's I'm holding myself to that low bar.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Until next week. See ya.